Welcome to mobile application.
Oh.
What's the matter?
You look different. You forgot something.
It's nice and clean now, June.
Yeah, you look clean and nice, tidy.
Am
This
I?
time. Yeah.
Good. Am I more presentable for YouTube videos
Okay,
now?
I think so.
Okay. Well, let's make a start on this video. So far, June, you've learned how to create your views inside the XML file.
Yeah.
Here, where are we? Inside the XML file.
Yeah.
So you create your view in there.
Yeah. And
you've either set the parameters inside here, or you've created a method inside your activity, and you've got your reference to your views from here, where you've made changes. But we actually don't need this XML file. We can do without it.
Okay, everything.
Yeah. Okay. But I've just got a question for you. This activity, this XML file here, activity, belongs to this main activity. So there's a method inside your onCreate that associates this layout with this activity.
Yeah.
Do you know what that method's called?
Set content view?
Yes, set content view. So set content view associates this layout with this layout here. Well, it's this activity with this layout.
Yeah.
I just open up. So we've got the activity main.
Yeah.
So we associate that. So, but now what we're going to do is we're going to do everything within code. We're going to create our own relative layout and views inside code. Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't need this layout. We don't need the XML because we can create everything we want inside code. So we can comment this out. And I'm also going to comment out this because once we've commented out, we've disassociated this layout with this activity. So we can no longer call these methods because they belong inside the layout XML file.
Okay.
So we're going to have to comment out these lines because they won't work. Okay. We've got no layout associated with this activity.
I see,
So we need to create a layout member. And basically, a relative layout is a class. And we can create what's referred to as an object, a member from that class. So to do that, we create relative layout. That's the name of the member, relative layout. Now to create an object, you need to use the new command. It's like new life, bringing to birth, brand new, create something new. So we use that. And now we need to pass the class name.
Relative layout,
And inside here, let me go to the documentation for relative layout. So inside the relative layout, I need to scroll down. We've got what's called constructors. Now constructors are methods, and they're like default methods. Think of them as setting the default parameter settings for a class. They need to be called. We need to call one of these. So we'll call the most simplest one here with the context. And think of this context as just the environment of the activity. So we need to feed one of these arguments inside the creation of our relative layout. So it needs a context. Think of the context as the environment, access to all the members inside this activity. So we can just call this. This refers to the activity. Okay. So we've now created our relative layout. The next thing, if we go to activity main, let's see if I can this. All layouts and views require width and heights. All views, all layouts require width and heights. And they belong as a layout parameter. So we need to set that for a relative layout. And to do that, we need to create another member which is layout parameters belonging to the relative layout. to do that, we call relative layout. We've got layout params. So these are the parameters that hold the width and the height. So it's needed. This is needed for the relative layout.
Yeah.
Okay, let's call this. I'll just call it relative params. And again, it's an object, it's a class. So we create relative layout, layout params.
Yeah.
So done in the same format as above. And here's where we actually want to pass in the match parent for the width and the height. Okay, so we go relative layout, and it's layout parameters and match parent. And we do this in this if we go into here. Here's the relative layout information here. If we select that. It should give us default information of the width and the height. Here we go here. Again, these are constructors for the layout parameters. And as you can see, one of the parameters is width and height. Okay, so that's where that comes from. So this is width. And we need to do the same thing for the height. So I can just paste in that. Just like that. So we've now set the parameters. We've created our parameters. These parameters now need to be fed into this relative layout. And to do that, you call relative layout, and you can call set layout parameters, a method that belongs inside our relative layout. And then we pass in the parameters themselves. Okay, so now we've created the relative layout, and we've now supplied it with the layout width and height, which we've done, created, and then passed relative layout parameters into there. Okay, the next step here is we've disassociated the XML layout file with this activity. What we want to do is we want to associate this relative layout with this activity. So instead of the XML, we want this to be associated with this activity. How do you think we'll do that? Okay.
Set the content.
Set content what?
View. Set the content view.
Exactly. So we call set content view. That belongs to the activity. And what do you think we pass in the set content view?
Relative layout.
Yes. Very good. Anyone would think this is the second time you've done this.
Second time, very second time.
Is it? Okay, so now we're associating. Previously, we were associating the XML file with this activity. Now we're associating our relative layout with this activity. Okay. Okay, so we've got a relative layout. If we go back to this relative layout, you see this relative layout consists of all these views. How many views does this relative layout contain?
2. Oh, no, this one.
This one here. How many?
Not yet.
Exactly. So we need to create those views in code and then add them to this relative layout.
I see.
Okay, so we're just going to do one view. We're going to add the text view.
Okay.
And we create the text view is very similar, virtually identical to the relative layout. So but we don't call it text view. I'm just going to call it text view. And now we need to, and then remember it's getting created from a class. It's getting created from the text view class. And again we pass in this. And again, text views also have parameters, widths and heights. Views and layouts always have width and heights, and you need to pass them in. So we need to set up a relative layout parameters to pass into our text view. So relative layout's like how everything's gets fitted on
Yeah.
the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to call this TextView params.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we do the same thing what we did for the relative layout parameters. So relative. Okay, but let's go back to the XML file because we're doing this in code instead. Now, the width and the height is wrap content, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not match parent, but it's wrap content. So we need to pass that. Instead of passing match parent, we need to pass in match content. So we can just follow the same format.
Yeah.
And it's going to be wrap content, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly
the same as the XML file, which is what we're copying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I just go down. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got a text view. The text view doesn't yet have any parameters for width and the height. So we need to pass this into the text view.
Yeah.
And to do that, it's exactly the same as what we did for the relative layout.
Yeah.
So we call the text view.
Yeah.
And it's going to be set layout parameters.
Yeah.
And we pass in our text view parameters there. Okay, exactly the same as what we did up there?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've now passed in the width and the height for our text view, which is wrapping whatever the content is. Okay, the next step for our text view, if we look at a text view, we see it's got a couple of alignment and settings here.
Yeah.
One's align parent top,
Yeah.
which is going to push the text view to the top.
Yeah.
The other one's going to be centering the horizontal.
Yeah.
So we need to add these in code.
Yep.
And right, to do that, we need to use our text view parameters to do that.
Yeah.
So we need to call them before we actually set them into the text view.
Oh, okay.
So I've created a line above here.
Yeah.
So if I call the text view parameters.
Yeah.
Now there's a special method called add rule.
Yeah.
And add rule is for, you tend to use add rule for layout settings here.
Yeah.
Align parent, center horizontals.
Yeah.
For the layouts, we can use this add rule method, which takes verbs, what we call verbs. So we need to call relative layout.
Yeah.
And what's the first one? Align parent top?
Top.
Was it align parent top?
Yeah.
Align parent top.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think the next rule will be for center horizontal?
Yeah, center horizontal.
Okay. What do you think? Okay. I'll just...
do the same way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Well, I need to put here.
Okay. I think center.
Center. Oh, yes, that's correct. Okay, so our view's now being pushed to the top, and it's in the middle there.
Yeah.
Let's go back to our XML file.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a margin here of 82.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So we need to do that in code as well.
Okay.
Again, we need to use the parameters for that.
Yeah.
Okay, now if we go into the relative layout, parameters here.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to do a search for set margins.
Yeah.
See, I've got the set margins method called here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see layout margin top, let's just go to the code here.
Yeah.
So layout margin top.
Yeah.
Here we have a layout margin top.
Yeah.
The relative method in code is set margins with these four methods.
Mm-hmm.
Let's click on that. Here we have set margins, left, top, right, bottom.
Okay.
So we need to pass all of these, but we can just set this to 0.
Yeah.
Pass in the top 0, 0 from this. So if we go back to code, it's margin top with a value of 82.
Yeah.
So if we go into here, so we need to call the parameters again.
Yeah.
We can now call set margins, and this is left.
Yeah.
It's 82, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's top, right, bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've now set all these values here.
Yeah.
So basically we've pushed the text view to the top.
Yeah.
We've aligned it sort of in the middle,
yeah.
and we've put a margin, top margin of
Yeah.
82
Yeah.
pixels basically in there. Okay, so we've now got our text view positioned where we want it.
Yep.
We've just got one more thing, and we need to add some text to our text view.
Yeah.
We need to do that in code as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the text view is a string text view. So we go to that string. This is basically test.
Yeah.
So we need to do the same thing in code. So let's go to code. So it's our text view now. We want to set the text for the text view.
Yeah.
So if we go to text view, I need a dot to call the method.
Yeah.
Set text. Does that remind you of something?
Yes, yes.
Now it's a string, isn't it, that we want to pass in here?
Yeah.
So we can go resource dot string dot. Is it June text view?
Yeah, that's the one.
Let's double check here in strings. June text view.
Yeah.
June text view.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we've provided the actual content, which is text, to our text view.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just go down. Right, there's just one more thing missing.
Yeah.
We've got this text view here.
Yeah.
It's not yet associated with this relative layout. Okay, so we need to put, we've created the text view, but we need to put it into the relative layout here.
Yeah.
So to do that, we need to call RelativeLayout.
Yeah.
And we've got a method called addView. And for any view, you call addView.
Okay.
And the view we're adding, what's the view we're going to be adding to our relative layout? What's the name of our text view?
Name of the text view?
Yeah. What's the name of the text?
Text view.
Yes, it's text view. See, text view, we created that member text view. So we just passed that into addView.
Okay.
So now our text view is now associated with the relative layout. Okay. So as you talk this code through, it seems to make sense.
Yeah.
All we're doing is just putting syntax in here as such. So that's it. So the first part of this, we've created relative layout.
Yeah.
Relative layout is just a collection of views. It's a home for views.
Yeah.
And the next step here is we created this text view here.
Yeah.
So, okay, are you comfortable with that coding?
Yeah.
Good, good. So let's try running it and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Let me record that so the viewers can see. So we've got the little text view showing.
From code.
That's
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, and we've done this without an XML file.
Well, so you can do both ways, either XML or the code.
Yeah. It's a lot easier in XML, but often you do things in code because you dynamically want to change them on the fly, which you can't really do in XML. So in code, it's a lot easier to change things if somebody presses a button, or you have an external event which you want to change the view for such, which is why you tend to do it in code. So let me stop recording for that. Okay, so how did you feel about that, Jen?
Very straightforward. It's very good.
You've actually learnt a ton of stuff. That's basically, you've learnt how to create objects from classes by using the new command. So you created 4 objects. You created relative layout. You created relative layout parameters that were required for the setting and creation of your relative layout. And you've done the same thing for your text view. Your text view, you also use the layout parameters to position your text view and put a margin on your text view. And then you added some text to your text view. And then you added your text view to your relative layout. And you also associated your relative layout with the activity. Because using the set content view commands. So done all of those. So is that too much, June, or is that comfortable?
It's like along the loop.
as you talk the code through, it
Yeah.
seems to make complete sense.
Yeah.
The only thing is syntax, and syntax is just experience and
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
So June, if I was to set you homework
Yeah.
to do the same thing,
Okay, I tried that. Yeah, I have to. Yeah, remember.
and then would you also be able to do the same for edit text, button, and button?
Oh, it's too difficult. I need it.
Same pattern.
Pattern.
Yeah.
So use same method, same the way, same.
Yeah,
way.
same method. Edit text.
Yeah.
Sorry. You've got the
Okay.
center horizontal, margin
I
top,
see.
layout
I see.
below,
Okay.
layout width, layout height.
So the same pattern.
Can you see the same patterns?
Yeah.
Width, height,
Yeah.
layouts.
Yeah.
Buttons are the
Yeah.
same.
I tried tonight.
The only thing different
Yeah.
is, you're creating, instead of text view, to be creating buttons
Yeah.
or edit views,
Yeah.
but the same
Ah.
methodology.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you can just go about recreating
Yeah.
this application
Mm.
by using all your views and code
Yeah.
instead of all your views and code instead of using an XML file.
Mm-hmm.
And for the following tutorial to this, I'll just ask you to do some of
Okay.
this in code,
Yeah.
just to see if it's
Yeah.
set in.
Understand.
Okay. Thank you very much. You learned a
Oh,
lot.
thank
You
you
sounded
very
quite.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all for this one. Hope
Yeah.
you all enjoyed,
Yeah.
and be sure to press that subscribe button to see if June has properly absorbed all this with the follow-on tutorial, where I'll
Try my best. Yeah.
I'll be setting June a few little exercises on creating views and code.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all for this one. Bye for now.